Hello everybody, here we are again, second forum, hybride, a little bit more real this time because we're gonna receive some guests tomorrow and after tomorrow. In the 5th arrondissement, very close to the Notre Dame, we are receiving you all to explain the beauty of the new season. This season is especially very, very strongly influenced by sustainability. This table is an expression of what we all love the most, is being in the countryside. This simplicity has become an enormous driver, especially for the industry of laces, embroideries. A lot of the manufacturers of lace, such as Shanti and also Siva, are using organic cotton in actually quite large quantities. From Union, we are seeing these fantastic possibilities to get very quickly your own color. They propose a series of very beautiful colors. This year it's especially the pinks and very bright pinks as well. They also work more and more with funny ideas. Bishop Gamma is very good for example. And then of course you all have read the trend reports. Pink and baby blue are suddenly very important colors, and actually it's not only for women, we see also more and more of those very soft colors for men. Beautiful examples also of colored yarn-dyed laces, continues to be the leader in this field is Iluna. Excellent developments also in new technology. Here from Encares, a beautiful combination of very flat 60s flowers on a net ground. We absolutely see this softness also in printed microfiber, here from Rocle by Isabella. There's always an element in Coruda of inspiration of folklore. Beautiful examples also in printed mesh, here again from Rocle by Isabella, who is a real specialist in this kind of print technology. Lila in Turkey just started with a very, very nice collection of prints, especially for beachwear. We talk here, of course, about field flowers, big developments in printing technology also here. For instance, a Japanese company, Shuetsu Lace, here another example from them in outlined. Quite beautiful examples here of different scales of flowers. And that brings us also to a technique which is coming back in a big, big way. That is jacquard from one of the specialists, Boselli. A very interesting development of green. Beautiful examples here from Bishop Gamma with different greens. Very, very lovely fabric here as well from Bishop Gamma. Again, place design with different field flowers, really gorgeous. And then laces like here from Decorine from Hong Kong in the same mood. Table is very much what we all adore in lingerie, a little bit of nostalgia, the past, the heritage of techniques which are all back, even the very traditional technique of cut and sew for bras, and also we found from Piave Mitex this very original corset fabrics which are also very popular with young designers at the moment to create that feeling of vintage. At this table we especially are very enthusiastic about the way Kipur is developing as something quite light and absolutely adorable, of course. And now Bishop Gamma is a big specialist, but we see also other manufacturers like Chiuzu from Japan using guipure. The lace grounds at this moment are super light. Beautiful lightness. Has nothing to do with the past. It is very modern, a very fine yarn. And then always this link with the real levers laces, like here at Jean Braque, a beautiful soft shiny effect. And then here another incredible fantastic design where with this effect of little 3D effects in very fine guipure. There is an enormous comeback of corded effects and also of textronic to create more depth, a more 3D effect, but also with that lightness and the suppleness in mind. Very interesting as well is how manufacturers, here we have Hangang, for instance, how they use all kinds of different ways to illustrate this vintage effect, but with a complete new handwriting. We have seen the enormous influence of softness also developing in new yarns, like Q-Nova. This effect of grandmother's laces is also very well illustrated here by Gaillou. A beautiful example of different mesh effects and nostalgia. Then of the embroiderers, for the first time a more consistent research also in sustainability. Here we have a recycled ground and recycled yarn from Bischoff Gamma. Shanti is the master in using organic cotton. It's the real specialist. This is what they call themselves their diamond lace. This is one of the best-selling laces of Shanti. It's a beautiful combination of at least 35% organic cotton with a very nice corded effect. And this lace is an écru lace. It's a non-dyed lace, so completely natural the way it comes from the machines. That story of more texture, of more depth in laces is also very well illustrated here by both Roya and Hangang with this sort of smock effects, which is very popular in young collections, also for tops and t-shirt types of tops, quite beautiful, and that also links then to after beach wear with a colored bikini under it. It's very effectful. The relationship between swimwear and lingerie is very clear at this table, but also the enormous enthusiasm of lingerie and especially lace designers to break away from the traditions of flowers and to come up with completely new designs. That is very clear in collections where Iluna uses pre-dyed yarn. Beautiful combination here in colors, and these laces are indeed developed for the swimwear market, for cover-ups. We have seen them very successfully already in collections such as Levi, who continues to be a trendsetter in the lingerie. This enthusiasm for another way to decorate, designers are playing especially with all kinds of graphical ideas. We have seen in the Union range always these absolutely gorgeous and very funny sometimes. This is a zebra, for instance. You have to look at it, it's really pretty. One of my favorites here in France, one of the most creative companies, MG Création, with fantastic double weave jacquard, especially for beachwear. Very popular, we have seen in bikinis. These are a couple of new designs, also combining then different elements of other cultures. Very good designs here in lace that illustrate this totally new spirit of creation. Here we have one of Siva. This is from Hangang, a sort of influence of music, and here again another version very, very close to Lever's lace from Siva. And then amazing new ideas here again with combinations from Siva with colored yarns. A beautiful goes also this new spirit of design to haute couture. This is from a company everybody knows, and it's really one of the last real Lever's lace manufacturers, Jan Brak. The legging industry, which has staying power, has also given fabric manufacturers all kind of new ideas. There are a lot of jacquard. I would say that this is a very good example how the legging is moving from pure sport also more like part of the wardrobe and dressed up wardrobe. Here a beautiful interpretation of an animal from MG Création. All kind of new ideas for guipure and for nets from NKS in a reprieve. This is a recycled biodegradable yarn. And then of course here one of the examples of the totally new print collection of Lila. Fantastic, colorful effect as well, of course, with the very important elastics, which are really giving that final touch, and elastics have become the element, and we have more to show you of sporty lingerie or giving a sporty touch to lingerie. Elastics are in the current lingerie and sport and beachwear industry the most important part, perhaps the most important accent of the look in total. There's also a lot of innovation here. We have to really look at the paper that Bertie Jas is sending me, because that is intriguing. They have invented an elastic fabric that combines comfort and support. It reduces oscillations while moving fast and avoid bouncing effect. We are all very curious how that exactly works. And the other thing of Bertie Jas here is very interesting. They have also created all kind of gripping effect on their elastics. That is also very, very functional. Their designs are an evolution of taste. Really very, very, very impressed by that. The second manufacturer we are all very fond of is from Turkey, Defsel. Very, very enthusiastic as well, with beautiful designs, especially for sport. And then we have, of course, these beauties. There are more on the other tables from a company which is called Cintas Martel. A very, very delightful colors with soft lurex, which also give an enormous amount of interesting effects to design here. Double face, very interesting as well. Element of culture mix, of influences from other cultures, started with just a couple of terracotta colors, and now we see that it develops into the whole range of browns, terracottas, oranges, stone colors. Really, really quite amazing. Especially interesting combined with metallics, with lurex. Very beautiful examples who lurex becomes more and more refined, more and more delicate, striped. Personally, I love this lace from this embroidery from Bishop Gamma with this nice effect of soft color and lurex. Beautiful combinations here in a tropical flower pattern. And then the liberty of the industry to use different designs and different color combination is very well illustrated here by Hangang. Very interesting here as well is the evolvement of browns at the beginning. Now and then, now we see brown also for beachwear. This is a beachwear fabric from Rockle by Isabella. This is a very, very interesting lace from Iluna. Beautiful open effects and a little border with corded effects that looks like a guipure. Now we see that this whole development of red more and more is going from very soft here in Gaillou to very, very beautiful aubergines in a combination with different nets here from lila. Quite beautiful in combination with that red is this rather strange, I call it mustard. It's a color which you couldn't imagine that would be a success color in lingerie. I like this print very much on tulle in these colors, a beautiful combination of shadow effects. And here again jacquard, and then this beauty, I can't say different from Union, a fantastic place design in these colors. We are going more and more into colors which have nothing to do with seasons anymore. These are seasonless developments. We see them for summer and for winter. Combinations of guipure with cutouts, quite an achievement. All those little pieces of tulle are laser cut and then re-embroidered in this guipure by Bishop Gamma. A very, very interesting combination of printing. Again, Bishop Gamma, I see developing the handwriting of the original Swiss designers mixed with the equipe of Thailand is quite amazing. This whole gold development, also seasonless. From NKS, a very good example of the influence also from Art Nouveau. That is already a touch of what is coming for the winter after, because most of those fabrics are for summer. Another guipure here, a fabric which is from Liberty Tex, quite delightful color combinations in different yellows. And then another highlight of this season is everything sustainable and improved by labels and global recycle standards. Flocking, which used to be incredibly polluting, is now very, very safe and can be used also to the hardcore, the sustainable believers. It's very soft as well from Eluna. This is the love of everybody. Very small, gorgeous little, we call it narrows, fine laces, big success in all the categories and more used in beachwear. This table, the collector. There is a group of women who love beautiful things, and pandemic or not pandemic, we continue to love the seduction of black and of beautiful laces. Lots of beautiful modern versions here from Decorine in Hong Kong. Another beauty here from Decorine, fantastic combination of ginkgo leaves. From Siva, I admire enormously their work with the edges of the lace. This is a very, what we call nervous lace. It has especially been very successful, this type of laces. Beautiful combinations also of flowers with these laces, which are geometric. As before, Eluna is also in this category, especially together with Lurex. Another example of using these pre-dyed yarns and all over, again with a link towards the beachwear industry. Then beautiful lightness here, incredible, done in a rigid lace from Hangang. Blue, especially blue in this rather interesting culture mix. It's almost between Delft blue and all those styles and Chinese blue. It's a good example of how the world is communicating. A very important development we have seen at the moment in a lot of lace collections is the use of tencel. Tencel gives a lace an enormous softness. It's also very sustainable. And then perhaps, according to a lot of people, the winner of creativity as an embroidery of this season. This is Union. They did something which was basically impossible in the past. They printed the ground, but then left the flowers in the ground color, the original ground color, creating something which in lace is in embroidery is always difficult, a white flower on a dark ground without creating a lot of weight. This idea of lightness is also very much expressed by Liberty Tex with this beautiful laser cut design in combination with guipure. We love, of course, the idea of flower patterns. A very good example of this almost like creative non-perfectness, which is a trend which makes an enormous evolution also for the next season. Here, this sort of almost like pixelization of the edges from Encares. An important red color here from Coruda, very lipstick red. That's a color which actually is very, very flattering for every skin tone. Look how beautiful it is with purple, for instance. And then again, I'm here with a jacquard from the new Boselli collection, where these jacquards are specially developed also for beachwear and for activewear. Activewear manufacturers can, of course, have their own logos in it. This is again one of those pixelized flowers we see a lot. Pattern in sustainable flocking with a green label from Iluna with a very much Art Nouveau design. From Corvette Spitzen, that is part of the Chantilly group, one of those laces, slightly covered ground deliberately because this is cotton and is against the skin, very much loved by a lot of women since we are seeing more and more bras without padding, so that's directly on the skin. From Coruda again, this very pretty, almost like a re-embroidered lace with a collar edge, and then one of those fantastic laces with a modern edge with a very big flower pattern here from Siva. Quite beautiful and very illustrative for what we are seeing now, a modernity but with all the ingredients for timeless seduction. This table actually contains everything that you need to know for a modern lingerie wardrobe. We start here with some of the most important developments in the whole industry, things that are recycled and biodegradable. And then, of course, perhaps the most important developments are from a lot of knitters like Bougie. We have biological cotton. These are organic cottons, but also, and that is very important, these colors are natural colors, all coming from fruits and herbs and vegetables. The streetwear is very important. This is a very, very important lace from Defcel, also natural, biodegradable. We have deliberately put this cut and sew bra in a very soft cotton type fabric with modal from AVK, that's an OEM company from Belarus. Very beautiful developments as well on this table. In what is incredibly important, of course, is everything close to the body, but what is especially high in demand are pretty, lightweight all-overs. This is a beautiful fabric again from Lila. Last year we had another one. Here you see again this development of pixelized flowers. Another example from Lila, very, very strong, with a very, very enormous recovery, this stretch, and two-way stretch, an important development for laces. Also one of the speciality of Dresdner Spitze, of the Germans, especially Dresdner Spitze and Chantilly lace. This is a good. And then from Encares, another novelty, they call it sheer ground. Enormous recovery, two-way stretch, beautiful example of this development, enormous super stretch stretch fabrics, which also reduces the amount of sizes. So we are seeing an enormous development there. This is a very, very strong example from Boselli, who developed a woven fabric, especially for an industry who wants a little bit more differentiation between mass market and the luxury market. Very soft, absolutely incredibly stretched. You can have a whole collection only in 3 sizes. That goes from S to extra large. For panties especially, also a development then in jacquard. And the same idea here in a knit from Billon. We know Billon especially for all the jacquards, but look at this. Here is another one of those super stretches, which are especially important for the reduction of sizes. And here another example in a woven fabric, very satiny, from MG Création. And then on this board, of course, everything that is close to the heart of every big lace manufacturer, because we talk a lot about no wire, no padding, but on the other hand, certainly a big part of the lingerie of the bra market is still padded. But everybody was, of course, waiting for recycled, for biodegradable. These are recycled polyesters and linings. Here we have a very, very spacer cup. Spacers in general are a big success. A lot of engineering is going on. Engineering also in laces to create complete cutout patterns. We see that as a very, very strong development in real. Utax is a Japanese manufacturer who has come with an enormous collection. Here we have, for instance, shape wire technology, but wires that are made from amazing materials, very safe for the body, shape memory, wires, paddings in more sustainable and eco-correct products for all overs. We have seen beautiful developments of corsets as well in this. And then here, another example of laces that are either produced with a lot of cotton or with a tencel. Against especially all those laces are quite covering. They want the natural fibers against the skin. Fantastic, recycled, sustainable, green label. This is the development of the laces in a nutshell, actually. Here again, one of those lila laces with tencel. And then very successful, although small, repetitive patterns. They are especially successful in the collections of the younger designer labels who love the simplicity but still with a lacy edge, and certainly in combination with sustainable qualities and properties. Call this table Legging & Co. because the legging has become the sort of key element in the wardrobe of the pandemic. We now see even here that the lace legging, which is a beautiful addition to the garderobe. And not only there's lace leggings, we have 2 different kinds from Iluna. A lot of manufacturers talk about leggings in a different way, not only as a sport element, also as a luxury element, as an incredibly effective help to sport with special zones. One of the big specialists in this area is Piave Maitex, who always was a fantastic best-selling manufacturer in nets, from really power nets for old-fashioned corsets to now best-selling, very fine microfiber nets, but then also becoming more and more technical with an important development of engineering with the grip edge. Then beautiful developments also in this very fine mesh, which is one of their best sellers. We see that the key item of this season, softness, combined with high technology, is also going in the leggings. I have beautiful examples here from TVB, from Germany. Most of the legging fabrics are synthetic. It's polyester or polyester nylon. Now we see more and more the demand for natural fabrics, and one of the big specialists has developed what they call the ultimate legging, that is Sanko in Turkey, fantastic combination of cotton and cellulosic with elastan. This whole legging development has an enormous effect also. It's not only sporty, we see all kinds of garments like the whole pyjama dressing. This is a very, very successful garment also to wear with leggings, a sort of a long shirt. Very important is to also believe that leggings will continue to become important also in new shapes, less fitted around the ankles. We already saw a slightly extended leggings that also opens the door for completely new fabrics. We have here bougies, billon, jacquard developments, but above all also alpine developments with surface interest. Piave Mitex here, Boselli here with a very, very interesting jacquard, in a certain way very classic, but not when it comes to the yarn developments. This slightly dressy feeling with lurex is moving absolutely into a wider area also for beachwear. What is really a big notion what we see in sport. What we see both for men and women in athleisure is a change in colors. People are looking for all kinds of new pastel combinations together, and MJ Creation asked me to put a special attention to this chevron fabric in a very bright orange for beachwear, very soft hand feel as well. And when we talk soft, of course, there is, you all have seen that slowly but surely, and now it's a real massive trend to take advantage of the comeback of the typical, what they call Nikki velour, what we have seen in Juicy Couture in the past, that velour comes back, and then other big comeback is real traditional sweatshirt, fleece fabrics, big specialists here, bougies and Sanko. This is very, very interesting. I would really love to have a jogging in that. Super soft on one side, navy blue, on the other side with a sort of denim effect. Very attractive. Then again, even in sport and in sporty fabrics, the development of those stone colors of beautiful terracotta, again important here to mention, is general in all the fashion areas, a comeback of ribs. Ribs is one of the trends at the moment. We see that in sport, but also in underwear. It's a fantastic table here where every fabric has a story to tell. We start here with a company that is important in the short time of that company, because it's a company that is only 10 years old. Gemma Knits in Thailand. Fantastic developments with a young team of technical knits, of fashion. These knits here are specially developed for sleepwear, especially sleepwear in Jersey, very functional. We have here knits that are for people who are always cold. We call them warm. These are the thermal knits. Then we have special knits for people who are always too warm. They have a cool touch. They are, of course, combinations of a very special blend of yarns in the warm underwear. There's, of course, a comeback of eco developments, but also acrylic in this case. There is another enormous development from Lenzing with their launch of Refibra. Softness, but completely 100% sustainable and biodegradable if it's used in combination with biological cotton. So here all those fabrics are made with Refibra 50% and recycled cotton. Then the softness is important into shaper fabrics. We see here recycled polyester again. Then we are going directly into everything that is purely natural, like sanko and bougies. The development here again of knitwear, rib knits especially, and here other rib fibra in a rib knit from one of the lensing partners. We have here pure organic cotton fleece, a lot of double knits here from bougies, and then again here the important development of all kinds of velour knits. Tencel as well in a very, very cute velour knit with a little bit of a tweed effect, both from sanko, almost like a baby soft short velour in completely bio in organic cotton, and then a series of laces which are very much covered. And then Lila has gotten the Tencel notification with these fabrics which are soft and where the Tencel is against the skin. Good example here, green label. I have to certainly mention that warm handle underwear is very, very important. Everything that regulates the temperature. People are very, very fond of it. And one of my favorite laces at the moment, very simple, very light, here from Kuruda. A beautiful example of developments where you see both everything that's voluminous and soft, or everything that's quite dry and quite transparent as the first layer of the layered silhouette with a lot of multifunction. The pyjamas from Ultra in Turkey were specially made with designs from our studio at Liberty Tex, who created this typical new version of art to wear. Absolutely gorgeous, a very good example of cooperation between creative people, like here hand-drawn Michael Sabat, and then created together with embroidery, including the bikini by Liberty Tex. And I thank everybody who has cooperated to make this possible, and we all hope and together with you that next time it's a real forum and a real fair. Thank you very much.